Yes, my people, it's me, your boy Enzo, the realest in the game, and just like that, I'm back with another one. My people, I hope everyone's having a fantastic weekend. I ain't dropped the video in a few days. So for today, let's catch up on some breaking news. Yeah, if you're new to the channel, you already know what to do. If you want to support us, smash the likes, share the links, and also subscribe to the channel because you're really gonna help us to grow. Shout out to everyone who already supports the channel. I really appreciate you. Now, let's start off with Gervonta Tank Davis. He's got a fight coming up with Jake Paul, an exhibition fight, which I'm gonna keep it real. It's a joke. I think it's a joke. It's a disgrace for a champion like Tank Davis. He's only 30 years old. He's coming into the prime of his career to make a sidestep like this, sell his soul to the devil, yeah? Sign a contract with Jake Paul for the dollar, man, for me, that's a disgrace, man. That's a disgrace. I don't think an active champion has ever done that. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. I don't think an active champion has ever done that. So Tank Davis, man, you're a joke, man. I've lost some respect for you. I've lost some respect for you. I'm not gonna lie. I used to rate you highly, but now I think you're a joke, man. You're a joker, man, for making this move fighting Jake Paul. Like, listen, Jake Paul can fight retired vets, you know, like Mike Tyson. Let him go fight them guys. Let him go fight some mixed fit boxers. Let him go fight celebrities. Let him go fight basketball players, whatever. Let him do that. That's his lane, innit? He's gonna do that. Go do that. But for Tank Davis, yeah, who had a rematch lined up against Lamont Roach, yeah, for him to duck Lamont Roach only to go and sign a deal with Jake Paul, it's a joke. It's a disgrace to boxing, man. And now Tank Davis is talking about boxing is dead. Boxing is not dead, Tank Davis. I tell you what's going to be dead is your career. Your boxing career is potentially dead because of your greed. Because of your greed, you're a sellout. Talk about yourself. Talk about yourself when you're talking about boxing is dead. Listen, I'm an amateur boxing coach at Rumble's Boxing Academy out here in England, in Kent, the UK. Yeah, so many kids are involved in boxing. In the grassroots, a lot of kids, not even kids, even adults are into boxing. Training every day is a lifestyle. You know, boxing does a lot for people. It does a lot for people. It takes a lot of young people away from crime, away from so many situations. Some people are depressed. Some people are going through mental health issues, and boxing provides them with that outlet. You know, so boxing will never be dead. Shout out to all the coaches out there, amateur coaches, professional coaches, and in the grassroots. Big up to them. Absolute salute to them. Massive respect. They do a hell of a job. They do a hell of a job. I got respect for all of them. Boxing will never be dead, man. You know, we've seen Usyk become undisputed twice. Smashed up Daniel Dubois. Couple weeks ago, we just saw Crawford, Canelo. Yeah, Crawford becoming 3 times undisputed. The first male fighter to do it in the 4-belt era. Boxing will never be dead, man. We've got Joseph Parker fights coming up. Boxing is always going to be healthy, my guy. It will never be dead. Your career might potentially be dead because of your greed. Let's keep it real. You're talking about yourself, really. You're not talking about boxing in general. Yeah, just because you're tired of it, just because you're no longer interested, just because you've lost your sense of humanity, just because you've lost your passion, your desire, your hunger for the sport, doesn't mean every other fighter has. And doesn't mean that all the other champions are going to make moves like you have. Let's keep it real, man. You see these guys, you have to keep it real with them. Someone has to tell them the truth because you know what? They're surrounded by a bunch of yes men. A bunch of D-riders around them that just tell them whatever they want to hear. But me, I keep it real, people. I'm the worst guy to try and get some sympathy from. Seriously, like, especially if you're in a position of privilege. Tank Davis, this guy's in a position of privilege. He's been well looked after. Boxing has given him a lot. Boxing has given him a lifestyle that he has today. Yes, of course, he's worked hard for it. He's put in the work to get to the top. But it's obvious by the way he's been acting, the actions and the movements that he's making, he's no longer interested in boxing. If you're no longer interested in boxing, bro, retire. Stop talking nonsense, man. Retire. Go get your money from Jake Paul, yeah? Go get the money, get your bag, do whatever you want to do. I'm not a hater. One thing I'm not a hater. I'm disappointed in Tank Davis on the move that he made because I feel like as a champion in boxing, you should hold yourself to a higher standard. You should hold yourself to a higher standard. You know, there's still plenty of fights out there for Tank Davis. It's not like he's conquered the division, he's undisputed, he's smashed up everyone, and he's done what Crawford has done or what Usyk has done. He hasn't done nowhere near that. He's done nowhere near that. His last fight against Lamont Roach, for me, my personal opinion, he lost that fight. Let's keep it real. He lost that fight. The knockdown, which wasn't counted by the referee, should have been counted as a knockdown. There was a rematch scheduled. Why is he ducking it? Why is he ducking it to fight Jake Paul? That's not how real champions move. That's not how real champions move. I would have understood it if Tank Davis was 39 or 30 or 40 years old. He's been retired a few years and he's got no money, he's broke and he's fighting Jake Paul. I get it. I understand it. If you put it that way, I understand it. But for a 30-year-old, young, fit, healthy champion to be making these type of moves and talking the shit he's talking, mate, you get zero respect from me, man. I'm keeping it real. Zero sympathy, zero respect, man. Because there's fighters out there that you can still fight. Shakur Stevenson's out there, Cruz. Like I said, you got Lamont Roach. The rematch, he's not willing to take any of that. He's not willing to risk it. But you know what? For the bag, for the extra zeros in his bank account, he's gonna fight Jake Paul. But then he's trying to talk about, oh, boxing's dead. Boxing's never dead. Your career is dead, mate. Your career is dead. And I see him talking about retirement. Just retire. Seriously, just retire. I'm one of them guys, yeah. Like, you tell me you're a fighter. You telling me about retire. Bro, retire. Because if Tank Davis was to retire, what are we missing out on? Nothing. Boxing is bigger than any fighter. Fighters come and go. Fighters come and go, but the sport will always remain. The problem with some fighters is that they get to a certain level, now they think they're bigger than the whole sport. You're not. You're not, mate. You're not. So if you're tired of boxing, my guy, Tank, listen, if you're tired of boxing, if you no longer have the passion or desire, leave it alone, mate. Retire. Let the other fighters step up. Let those fighters who are still hungry and have the desire and the courage, let them step up and win titles. Because clearly, you've lost all interest. Save us the time. No pity. Just go away, man. Retire. Seriously. I ain't got, bruv. I don't know what Tank is expecting from people, man. I don't know what. I'm just reading the comments on the statement that Tank made as well. I mean, most of the boxing fans are in agreement. Boxing is not dead. Boxing is well and truly alive. A couple of years ago, yes, boxing was on the decline compared to the UFC, MMA. That was on the up. But in the recent years, especially with Turki Al-Sheikh making the budget available for all the big fights, I mean, of course, boxing is not dead. A couple of years ago, we would have never got Crawford versus Canelo. But because Turkey's around, we're getting those type of fights. How is boxing dead? How is boxing dead? Usyk, undisputed. How is boxing dead? Boxing ain't dead. Come on, stop it. Tank Davis is talking absolute nonsense, mate. Talking absolute nonsense, man. Do you know what I mean? Anyways, let's move on, man. What else is there? By the way, Tank Davis, what a waste of a career that would be. If he was to retire. I mean, listen, retire, but what a waste of a career. Yeah? He's still got a lot to achieve. If you look at some of the fighters that are around that have similar abilities to him and what they've gone on to achieve, he's still got a lot to achieve. But the kid just hasn't got the desire anymore. And listen, fair enough. If you don't, go away then. Retire. Now, moving on. Frank Warren. Frank Warren He's got beef with boxer Ben Shalom. Frank Warren has never liked Ben Shalom. Frank Warren, Eddie Hearn never liked Ben Shalom because Ben Shalom came in, gate crashed the party. He gate crashed it. He tried to get in the middle of it. He tried to take over. And listen, the old fox, Uncle Frank, he didn't like that type of move. So he's always had it in for Ben Shalom and Boxer. Now, Frank Warren is upset that Boxer have announced their fight between Frazier Clark and Jimmy Chikeva, on the same night as Parker versus Wardley. Parker versus Wardley, I believe, is on the 25th of October, if I'm not mistaken. And that fight is going to be on pay-per-view, The Zone. Boxer Clark versus Chikeva is going to be on the BBC because the Ben Shalom has signed a contract with the BBC. So that's going to be free. The BBC here in the UK where I live is free. You know what I mean? It's free to view. So there's no payment. Obviously, you pay your TV license. That pays for the BBC. You can watch the BBC for free out here in the UK. So I'm thinking Frank Warren is upset because that's going to take a lot of the audience, a lot of the viewership away from Joseph Parker versus Fabio Wardley. A lot of the fans, especially the casuals, they're going to be like, yo, depending on how much Frank Warren is going to charge the pay-per-view for Parker versus Wardley, if he's like, let's say if he's £20 around here, £20 or £25, a lot of the casuals might just gravitate towards the Clark versus Chikeva fight on the BBC because it's free. It's free. As much as I have much love for Joseph Parker, and I think it's going to be a crack of a fight between him and Fabio Wardley, but I'm just looking at the bigger picture, like £25, £20 on The Zone is a lot of money, man, especially with the cost of living that's happening these days as well. People are tight in their pockets, man. People ain't willing to spend money. So I can understand why a lot of especially the casuals, are gonna go over to the BBC and watch that fight because it's free to air. You know, me personally, I'm probably gonna watch both, or I'm gonna do a live watch along on the Parker versus Wardley fight. I'm probably gonna keep my eye on the Chikeva versus Clark fight as well. Do you know what I mean? So I'm gonna probably have my eye on both fights. But the one that I'll be watching is Wardley versus Parker. I think that's gonna be a cracker of the fight. But I can understand where Uncle Frank is coming from. But at the end of the day, it's competition, isn't it? It's competition, and I welcome competition, especially healthy competition. So I'm not upset with Boxer for doing what he did. Even though I would say why put it on the same night, because if you want to get maximum exposure for your fighters, if you want to get a lot more eyeballs on your fight, just put it the week after, mate. You know, just be a bit more sensible. But I think this is Boxer kind of like sticking two middle fingers up at Frank Warren because he's upset with them as well. He thinks they stitched him up as well. So he's sticking two middle fingers up in them and say, yeah, take this, eh? Take this. But I'm confident Parker versus Wardley will sell. Not as much as Parker versus Joshua or Parker versus Chisora or Parker versus Tyson Fury or something like that, you know. Wardley is a known name here in the UK, but it's not as big as a Chisora, AJ, or them other guys, you know. But I think they're still going to do decent numbers. That's just my opinion. But I also can understand why Uncle Frank is upset about it. So, last one. What else was I looking at? Mayweather. Floyd Manny Mayweather. One of my favorite fighters of all time. I've got Mayweather as my number one greatest fighters of all time. He's my GOAT in boxing. For me, Mayweather. I grew up watching Mayweather. I admired his skills, everything. Listen, I'm not going to argue with no one. You know, everyone's got their own opinion. You might have someone else as your GOAT. For me, I'm putting Mayweather up there. Now, Mayweather has been talking about making a comeback to professional boxing. I'm just going to say this, yeah. As a great admirer of Mayweather, as one of his biggest fans, don't. Please don't. How old is Mayweather? He's nearly like, what, 50 years old or whatever? He's 48, 49, whatever. Please don't make a comeback. You know, carry on doing your exhibition fights. I know Mayweather's got the exhibition fight against Mike Tyson coming up. Like, just do that, bro. That way you still get the bag, but you stay healthy. You know, I do not want to see Floyd Mayweather back in the ring as a professional. I think he's going to get hurt. You know, sometimes with Mayweather, I think he's got so much ego that he's probably looking at Crawford, what Crawford has achieved, becoming 3 times undisputed, defeating Canelo in a manner that he did. And I think Floyd is like, nah, man, I want some of that attention. You know, like he's got an ego and he's very competitive as well. He's probably thinking, yo, I could come back and do something special. You know, a lot of these fighters, they don't want to be out of the limelight. They don't want to be outshone by another fighter. Right now, Terence Crawford is on top of the world right now. Everyone's talking about him. And Floyd probably thinking, what? They think he's the man now. Listen, you should see what I've done in the past. So Floyd probably thinking I can make a comeback. But I don't want Floyd to make a comeback. I think he had a fantastic career, 50-0, even though a lot of people don't count the Conor McGregor win, because obviously Conor McGregor was having his first professional boxing fight and he was coming over from the UFC, from MMA. So a lot of people are like, nah, we're not counting that. But listen, they counted it. You know, officially, Mayweather versus Conor McGregor was a real fight, was a real boxing professional fight. So Mayweather is 50-0. But as far as him making a comeback, no. I don't want Mayweather making a comeback. Stay retired. You know, I like the way Mayweather is. There's nothing left to prove for you, Mayweather. Just stay retired. You've done what you've done. You're one of the greatest of all time. Just take that, mate. You know, you come back at your age. I don't know who you're gonna fight, but you might go out there in the ring and get smoked. And that will hurt me to see that. You hurt me to see that, so I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Floyd get hurt, man. You know what I mean? He's done well. He's a GOAT. Stay there. Stay there. Don't come back. They're talking about a Canelo versus Crawford rematch. I think I've covered this a few videos ago as well. I said there's no need for a rematch. There's absolutely no need for a rematch unless Crawford wants the bag. You know, if they throw Crawford 60 million, he might just fight because he's going to look at Canelo as easy money. Let's be real. What can Canelo really do in a rematch to change the outcome of the fight? Nothing. Canelo, his legs are gone. Yeah, he can't cover the distance in the ring. Yeah, he can't cut off the ring. You know, he's too slow. He's not going to have a chance against Bud. Bud just has all the advantages. And like I said in my previous video, Bud will knock him out. If they fight in a rematch, Bud will knock him out. A lot of people are saying that where does Crawford go from here, man? Go down to 160. Try and get a belt there. You know what I mean? Jermaine Charlo, go fight them guys there. And his boots, he's fighting soon. He wins his fight. There could be a potential clash there. There's still people are acting like there's no fights out there for Crawford. There's plenty of fights out there that could be made. You know, what about Benavidez? 170, 175, Benavidez can come down to 168, man. If Turkey gives him the bag, Benavidez will come down and have that smoke with Crawford. There's plenty of options out there for Crawford. The only reason he takes the Canelo rematch for the moolah, more money. That is the only way. In terms of competitiveness, the first fight wasn't even competitive. I watched it again. Wasn't competitive at all. So I wouldn't want to see that rematch. But anyway, my people, I'm going to leave it at that. Let me know, man, if there's any other news that I did not cover. Let me know in the comments. I'll probably cover it in the next video. I'm going to start doing this at least once a week where I'll have one video where we just catch up on boxing news. I'll make it, you know what, every Saturday. I'll make a video every Saturday where we just catch up on the weekly boxing news. And then during the week, I'll drop little 8 to 12 minute videos where we're talking about a specific boxing news or a fighter. Yeah, that's a deal. But if I missed out on anything, just let me know in the comments, my people. I'll really appreciate it. And also, yeah, let me know overall, let me know your thoughts about Gervonta Davis, talking about retirement, talking about boxing is dead. Do you agree with him? Let me know in the comments. Canelo versus Crawford rematch. Let me know in the comments. Frank Warren versus Ben Shalom, boxer. They're clashing. Clark versus Chikeva is going to be on the same night as Wardley versus Parker. How do you feel about that? Do you think it's a dumb move from boxer? I can understand where boxer's coming from. I can also understand why Uncle Frank is upset about it. But listen, it's boxing, it's competition, isn't it? They're free to do whatever the hell they like. If it was up to me, If I was Ben Shalom, I'll pull that fight the week after, because then you get more eyeballs on your fighters and you can promote your fighters and, you know, and maximize the profits on them, you know. So that's me. That's if I was promoting the fight, but it's not me, innit? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, my people. I really appreciate it. I'll see you soon with another one. Until then, stay blessed. Peace.